Kim Joy, you've come to many of my marketing classes, and now you have your own place. It's exciting. I wanted to come in and let people know about what you do, because you're in Wilson, North Carolina, downtown, and it's a beautiful place.
Well, thanks for coming. I really appreciate you visiting today. I started out in 1982 doing stained glass, and over the years moved a bunch of times, always worked out of a home studio. And when I moved to Wilson, I figured it was time to become an entrepreneur. So I bought a storefront, did some repairs to it, and voila, we're here at Art Happens on Tarboro. So besides my own work, I wanted to showcase other artists that may not have the opportunity to show their work to the public. And this, I'm working on a project now that has moved, so it's jostled and I've lost a couple of pieces. But this is indicative of my work, and I just like to use a lot of colors. Sometimes they don't match, but it's whatever talks to me.
Can you show us a little bit about what you do as an artist in cutting and making stained glass?
Sure. Actually, when you cut stained glass, you're not really cutting it, you're scoring it, and I'll show you how we do that. So you start on one edge and you just go to another edge. Whoop, little pocket of, and if the glass talks to you, it's better. That means it's a good score. And then I'm going to use running pliers, and you line this line up with the score line, which was crooked, and gentle squeeze, and it just pops it along the line. You can also use the ball end of your cutter and break it like that. So like all of these pieces in here were from a big sheet of glass, and they would have to be cut, each line cut separately, because glass is not like humans. It doesn't know to follow all the way around. It's not as educated. So it takes a little while to get them cut, and then you have to grind them to fit them back together so that you can wrap them with copper foil, which will help them, when you solder, stick together, because solder will not stick to the glass.
So then you wrap the edges with copper foil, and then the solder is what's used to
right, because this two pieces of copper foil on like the brown glass and the orange glass will be side by side, and when you put flux on it, which is an acid, it helps the solder adhere to the foil. It will connect these two together.
Outstanding. And it clearly involves kind of an art and a science in working with the material, because like you said, the glass wants to do what it wants to do. You don't,
right, and actually glass is not dead. It's made up of molecules. So when you are scoring it and breaking it, you're breaking those molecules apart. So it's not alive, but you're manipulating it.
Tell me, what got you into stained glass? Because it's not the most easy thing to work with.
No, it's not. When I was growing up, I have a cousin that does stained glass, and he traveled throughout New England doing church window repairs, just showing up in a town and going to churches to see if they needed their windows repaired. And so one summer I traveled with him, and it was interesting. She'd go to a town you'd never been to, and people would find out. Somebody might have you for dinner, somebody would say, do you need a place to sleep? And you'd end up, meeting all these people that open their doors to total strangers. And then when I moved to New Mexico, I apprenticed under a stained glass artist out there for 2 years, and then I went off on my own.
Outstanding. And then behind you, we have all the different glass back there. Is that?
Yes. And that's not all there is. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of different kinds of glass.
You know, I grew up in DC remembering watching the evolution of the National Cathedral.
Yes, yeah.
And both seeing stonemasons and the glass people. Mm-hmm. And it was extraordinary, the art, the science, the calculations, the mathematics involved in it.
Yes, and those big windows to get them up to the level where they are is amazing.
And you also offer classes here, is that correct?
Yes, I do. Stained glass and other classes, jewelry, mixed media, etc. Yeah.
How can people learn more about you?
We have a website. It's www.arthappensonTarboro.com, and also a Facebook page called Art Happens on Tarboro.
Fantastic, and it's a delightful place to just come in and walk around. If you want to see art, take a class, or get an original from you.
Yes, and right now there's 9 other artists in here with me, and we always celebrate first Friday, we're open late, and then second Saturday, we're also open late, and we have a make it, take it that night, and it's some project, $5 or under.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, and look forward to coming back and finding some gifts here as well.
Great. Thank you so much. Bye.